Greetings, Solitaire gamers! I am Solitarius, and today we are going to be doing a solo playthrough of Orleans. And this is a fantastic game. Came out, I believe, in 2014, so it's an older game. It's the oldest one I have done a playthrough of so far. I do absolutely love this game. I think it's great. It introduced me to the entire bag building concept, and honestly, if I were to play a bag builder game, I think this is still my favorite one. I think this is still the one that I would go for. However, I am not going to be playing the Invasion expansion. The Invasion expansion came out a couple years after the base game, and you notice the Invasion expansion is 1 to 5 players because there are solo scenarios included as well as a co-op scenario, which all of which are really fun. The solo scenarios have very limited shelf life. However, they're kind of like solving chess problems where you're given a certain situation and you have to make the best out of what you get, and you have a definite win condition. But I also felt like once you play them a few times and you kind of figure out the strategy, you figure out the tiles that you need and the places you need to go to get things done. There's really no reason to play it again because it's more than likely going to play out the same way every time. So what I was looking for really when I heard that Orleans was going to become a single player game originally, I was hoping that there would be something like what Stonemaier Games had been experimenting with at the time, and that is automa decks, where you have a deck of cards that controls the enemy, that tells them where to go, blocks spaces, gathers resources, and it actually presents you with a win-loss condition that's variable. You don't know, you can see how the game develops. You're always trying to one-up your opponent, he's trying to one-up you, kind of creates the experience of the base game. Today I'm going to be playing through an unofficial solo Automa variant. This Automa I found on Board Game Geek. It was developed by Minea Catenu, a Board Game Geek user from Romania. It is based on the Automa system. It is not an official Automa. I believe that would actually have to have come out of the Automa factory. The Automa has a Roman numeral here, and it has an Arabic numeral on the other side. So you see there's a level 1 deck, there is a level 2 deck, and there is a level 3 deck. So I'm going to use the recommended beginner settings. I have played this Automa system before, but honestly, once you start increasing the difficulty, this Automa becomes very, very difficult. So I'll just go ahead and play it on the basic mode, and then I'll show you afterwards how the difficulty can be increased. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my level 1 cards, and I'm going to turn them over, and I'm going to give them a shuffle. These are the easiest cards for the easiest opponent. I'm going to give these a shuffle, and I'm going to draw 3. 1, 2, 3. Next, I flip them over, and I look at the numerals on the right. So we have a 2, a 5, and a 4. When you play, you always play with numbers 1 through 6. However, they might be from different difficulties. So I'm going to be playing with cards from deck 1 and deck 2. So whatever numbers I do not have from deck 1, I'm going to go ahead and put cards from deck 2. So I'm going to need a 1 from deck 2. So I have 1, 2. I'm going to need a 3 from deck number 2. And I'm going to need card number 6 from deck 2. So as you can see, I now have cards 1 through 6. However, they are different levels, either level 1 or level 2. I'm going to give these cards a shuffle. Shuffle, 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 and my opponent is ready to go. But wait, you say, isn't the game played over 18 rounds, but you only have 6 cards? Well, you see, each card has 3 rows. So during the first 6 rounds, the AI is going to activate the first row. After the 6th turn, they're going to shuffle, and then they're going to activate the second row for turns 7 through 12. And then for turns 13 through 18, they're going to activate what's on the third row. So it simulates the flow of the game. During the game, the Automa is going to be drawing tokens out of their bag just like a real player. When an AI card has the Town Hall symbol on it, that means that they are going to be going to the Beneficial Deeds board. And it's very simple. You notice I've numbered the different spots. This is basically the priority. The AI is going to prioritize coins because that's one of the main ways the AI is going to actually get points during this game and give you a challenge is by earning coins. Next, it's going to favor, and then next it's going to favor movement. So it basically this is just prioritized by what spaces give the most coins. For instance, let's say that I drew a scholar for the AI. I would very simply just scan through the board and find a place to put him. So number one has no spot for a scholar. Number two does. So I would place this scholar in number two, and I would take 2 coins. Now let's say that the peace treaty was full. Then I would go to number three, defeating the plague. Now let's say that the peace treaty was empty, but there was only one spot for a scholar open on defeating the plague. The AI's first priority is to try to get a citizen's tile. If by drawing a worker and then placing it, it can actually complete, like say it could complete astronomy, it would take a coin and it would take the worker. So first, just like a real player, the AI is going to want to grab a citizen's tile, and if not, it just has this simple priority. The AI wants cold hard cash, and this just prioritizes it for you. I just cut these numbers out and place them down. I know they're not like the most polished and professional looking thing, but it's just an easy way for me to just be able to remember the priority, and it eliminates a lot of the thinking from the process. And one more thing, I actually don't know what happened to the metal coins that I generally use for Orleans, so I have actually just raided my Scythe game and just stolen the coins from that. The only other modification to the game that I've actually made is my wife for Christmas got me these amazing dice bags. She made a whole bunch of them. They're reversible. So this is actually going to be my draw. From this bag, I'm going to draw the events instead of having a pile on the table, because my event stack always gets knocked over and I hate shuffling that thing. So I'm just going to go ahead, I just put all of my tiles in a bag and I'm just going to draw them from these bags. So just again, so you know, this bag does not come with the game. The final thing that's awesome about this automa system is that the automa just scores points the way that a normal player does. There's really no special scoring conditions other than that the automa is going to have a whole lot of money. So let's dive in with this homemade automa and see how it plays. First, we're going to draw the first event, in which every game is pilgrimage. We cannot go to the monastery this round. And also, I start the game with 5 coins. So at the bottom of the board here are the 5 workers that I drew out of my bag. You can see they're my starting workers because I'm the red player, and they have this red color at the bottom. And now it's my turn to place them. I'm going to send these 4 workers out, and you see, in order to activate these spaces, I need more than one. I'm going to need a certain combination of workers in order to carry out these actions. So in the village, I'm going to go visit the sea captain. I'm going to go here. I'm going to move up on one on the sea track. I'm going to take a sailor and put the sailor in my bag. I also take 2 coins. Next, the automa draws a card, and they're going to have a big turn. They are going to get a technology tile, and then they are going to travel 1 space. And I'm just going to give them 1 technology. They don't actually have to place this anywhere. They just collect these for points at the end of the game. Next, we were supposed to resolve an event, but the event here is just that we cannot go to the monastery. It's a pilgrimage event. So I'm going to go ahead and discard that. We do not bother with the start player token in the solo game, because I am always just going to take my whole turn, and then the automa is going to take their turn. So we're going to move on to phase 1. I'm going to draw the next tile out of the bag. The next event is income. So for each star we have passed on the development track, this track at the bottom, we get coins equal to the star level. So if we were to pass this one, we would get 2 coins. If we were on or past this one, we would get 3, and on and on and on. I'm going to go ahead and draw 4 workers. Right now, my limit is 4. I knew exactly which 4 these were going to be, because I have already committed my merchant over here to going to visit the castle. So I'm going to go ahead and visit the castle, sending my workers there. I do, however, as you can see, have 2 workers left. I'm going to just take advantage of the fact that I can do another action this round. I'm going to go visit the farm. So this round, I'm actually going to get to do 2 actions. I'm going to be able to go to the castle and get a knight, and I'm going to go to a farm and get a farmer. So first, I'm going to put these 3 workers back in my bag. I'm going to move up 1 on the knight track. Now that I visited the castle, I can now draw up to 5 tokens from my bag, 5 workers from my bag every round, and I add 1 knight to my bag. Also, the AI does get a worker, does get a laborer from when they went to the technology track. I forgot to grab one. Next, I'm going to get a farmer, and this is actually very good for me. This is a great early move. I'm glad this worked out this way. I actually hadn't planned it. Phase 2 is the census. So whichever of us is ahead, either me or the AI, whoever's ahead is actually going to gain 1 coin every round as long as they stay ahead. Now, we're not playing the negative, losing a coin, just because that's only for a multiplayer game of 3, 4, or 5 people. So I'm going to move up. I'm going to discard my 2 workers. I'm going to take a farmer. I'm going to move 1 up the farming track. From the supply, I'm going to grab 1 wheat and put it in front of me. A wheat, as there's a little board up here. I know it's not on camera right now, but a wheat is actually worth 1 point. So I have scored 1 point. I also scored 2 points last round because coins are a point apiece as well. So I'm already starting to build, get some money, start getting some things done. Next, it's the AI. So the AI is going to draw the top card of their deck, and they draw a farmer. See, they knew I was going to do that. They drew a farmer and a monk, and the monastery is open this round, so they can go there. So my AI friend is also going to move up on the farmer. They are also going to grab a wheat for 1 point, and they are also going to grab a farmer token and put it in their bag. In addition, they are going to go up here and they are going to grab a monk and put the monk in their bag. And that's the entire AI turn. So phase 6, the event, neither of us qualify for this event, so this event is discarded, and that's the second round. So to begin round 3, third round, we're going to draw the third event. The new event is the harvest. During this event, we need to discard at the end of this round, we're going to have to discard 1 farm good, either wheat, cheese, or wine, or we're going to lose 5 points. We're going to lose 5 coins. This is very bad. It's obviously going to be much better to lose a good than to lose 5 coins. And it's going to be way better to lose 5 coins than to not have any money to pay for it. So I'm going to go ahead and place this. I'm going to try it maybe, at least, see, I have my wheat. I could always pay my wheat at the end of the round. I might just hang on to that. I might just keep doing what I was going to do. Next, we're going to do the census. Neither of us are ahead of the other, so in the case of a tie, nobody gets a coin. Next, I'm going to draw my workers and place them below. 2, 3, 4, and I get to draw a 5th one. Merchant, maybe. Knight, who's it going to be? Oh, it's another sea captain. Okay, now this is really interesting. I have 2 sea captains. You know what? I think I have an idea. I'm going to go to town, since I'm going big on sea captains. Oh, I'm going to go to town there. And do I want to go to the castle again next round? Maybe, but I'm going to need to make sure I get a merchant. Oh no, I've got an idea. I'm going to try to go to the castle again next round. So I'm going to move up here. I'm going to the castle because I want to increase my, I want to both increase my hand size, get more tokens out as my bag starts to grow. And also eventually I want to travel around the board, and I'm going to need a bunch of knights in order to do that. So again, simple process. I'm just going to go ahead and resolve. My tokens, place them back in my bag. I am going to go visit the merchant, so I'm going to move up 1. The merchant is going to let me take a level 1 building. I also take a merchant tile and put him in my bag. I don't usually go this route, but I'm just going to take the herb garden this round. That's going to let me, since I have 2 sailors, it's going to let me play a sailor as any other token, give me a little bit of flexibility with where I send workers. I cannot, however, send them as a scholar or as a knight. And that is going to be my only action, as I need 1 merchant in order to take the knight action here. Next, I draw the top card from my opponent's deck, and my opponent is going to travel. Now, they're going to travel in the direction as we talked about before, they're going to travel in the direction that gives them the most stuff, the most valuable good. They're not going to travel back to Orleans because there's no good there for them, and there's cheese whichever direction they go. So we'll just say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and they rolled a 2, so they're just going to move here, and they're going to take a cheese. So I've placed my workers on the board. I'm going to go to the castle. I've placed a merchant to complete that. And then this turn, I'm going to go to the university. I've also placed the one knight that I drew up here on the ship. So my plan is to come down here, grab the wine, and then start working around the board around here to get these expensive goods. So just as before, I resolve my entire turn before the AI goes. So I'm going to go first visit the castle. I'm going to move up another spot in the castle. I'm going to take another knight. Now I can draw 6 tokens out of my bag each turn. Next, I'm going to go to the university. So take these back. I'm going to grab a scholar. I'm going to move up 1 on the university track. And because I went to visit the scholar, I can move up 2, because that's what the books mean. It means 2 spaces on the development track. So I'm going to go 1, 2. And that's all for me. Now my AI opponent goes. The AI draws a knight, so they're going to visit the castle, and a single book. So that's one movement up on the development track. So my opponent's going to take a knight and put it in their bag. They're going to move up 1 on the knight track. They're racing me for the citizen tile. Down here, they're going to move 1 on the prosperity track, and that is their move. Next, we resolve the event. For each guild house we get a coin, but neither of us have one of those, so this event will not trigger. And we are moving into round 5. First, we're going to draw the next event. Another trading day. Next, we do the census, but we're both tied on the farm track, so nobody gets a coin. Phase 3, I'm going to draw my workers, and I may draw 6 workers because I am 2 spots up on the night track. All right, now I'm starting to have more workers in the bag than I can actually draw per turn. So I drew a boatman, a trader, a scholar, a knight, a laborer, I think he's called, and a farmer. I think this is actually a craftsman, not a laborer. Don't want to offend this guy. Looks like he has an axe. So I've given this some thought, and I placed my workers. I'm going to go to the village again. I'm now going to go to the monastery, and I placed another knight here on the wagon. So now I have a knight ready to go for each. So I'm going to see which one triggers first. Because I invested in this herb garden card, where I can turn any of my boatmen into any of these 3 workers, I'm going to go to the boatman again. I'm going to take a 3rd boatman tile, put it in my bag. I'm going to move up here, and I actually get 3 coins. So that's essentially a net of 3 points. Next, my AI opponent is going to go, probably with a much better move. And they have a pretty simple move. So my opponent moves up 1 more space on the development track. If he makes another move on this track, he's going to take that citizen tile right from me. And I'm so close. Next, we resolve the event trading day, but neither of us have a guild house. So again, this event will not trigger. And this brings us to round number 6. After this, we're going to shuffle the AI deck. I draw another event, and it is another harvest. Now, this is not great for me, because right now I actually do not have any goods. So I'm going to have to visit the farmer, or I'm going to have to move on the track this round. So I've drawn my 6 tokens for this round, and this is very good. Look at this. I have 3 boatmen. Once again, using my herb garden, I can turn my boatmen into any of these other workers. So I decided to do something a little unusual. I'm going to go to the farmhouse and move up 1 more time on the farm track up there. I'm also going to go to the university, and I'm going to try to move up this track as well. And I've actually saved my last boatman. Instead of placing him somewhere out here and taking a guess of where I want to go, since he's almost a wild card, I'm going to wait to see what comes out before I decide where to place him. So first, I'm going to go to the university. I'm going to collect these guys. I take a scholar. I move up another space on the development track, and I'm going to move 1, 2, 3. So now, as you see, I'm on the 2nd level of development. And I got my first citizen's tile. Next, I'm going to go to the farm. I'm going to move up 1 space on the track. I'm going to get a wheat, which I'm going to lose right away during the tax. However, now I'm ahead on the farmer track, which means that every round I'm going to get a coin, unless my opponent also moves up on the track and races me for it. I'm also going to grab 1 farmer and put him in my bag. So next, my AI opponent is going to draw his last card, and he is going to sea. So the AI player moves up 1 on the track. They get 2 coins, and they get to add a boatman to their bag. Next, we resolve the event. I have a wheat from the farmer, and my AI opponent has to discard a cheese, which is worth 2 points instead of 1. Ha ha ha. And that's the end of round 6. Now we are out of AI cards. They've all been drawn, so I'm going to go ahead and give them a shuffle. Now, whenever I draw and resolve a card, I'm going to be resolving the middle row. And this is probably a pretty good time to take a break. That's 6 rounds of Orleans. We're about a third through the game. As you can see, it starts to ramp up. I love how more and more workers start coming into my bag. And in fact, I'm going to have so many workers in here that I'm going to have to start managing them soon and start sending them to the beneficial deeds board in order to get some benefits and in order to grab some of these citizen tiles, and just to like any good deck builder, you don't want to have a fat deck. You want to thin your deck out with just the cards, or in this case, just the tokens that you need. So I'm going to go ahead and call it here. I hope you've enjoyed watching. I've had a blast playing this game. Like I said earlier, I don't know that I could talk this automa up too much. It's such a great system. It really rescued this game. I really was just going to get rid of this game until I discovered this automa. And in the comments section on the automa, there were people saying things like this automa is the reason why they bought this game, or this game stayed in their collection. So it's really good. Check it out. It's totally free. You just have to print it off. It's a print and play. And I'm going to continue playing. I'll post the next video up soon. And we'll see what happens. We'll see if I've got what it takes to beat this AI.